This is Cindy Blair from the Alexandria Museum of Art, and you're currently enjoying artwork by Baton Rouge artist Claire Gowdy. Claire joined us to speak to us about her paintings, but her former career is in marketing, and she had so many great marketing tips for artists that we've decided to share those with you today. And you'll get a bonus video next week about her process and other aspects of her career. So enjoy today's Art Together Tuesday. Well, here we are. We have Claire Gowdy with us from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She's an abstract mixed media artist, native Louisiana, living in Baton Rouge. Is that right, Claire?
My whole life.
And, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, like I said, I've lived here my entire life. I was born here. I love it here in the Deep South. I did not start painting until 3.5 years ago at the age of 53. But when I started painting, and it was at the encouragement of my close friend Sharon Ferret, who's also an artist, I would doodle on things and put them up on my wall just because I couldn't afford to buy the art I loved. And she said, you know, you really could sell these. And I laughed at her. And I said, there's no way. And then she forced me to be into a little art festival locally. And I did. And I sold about half the things I had made. And I thought to myself, well, if I don't know what I'm doing, maybe if I learned, maybe this could be something. And one thing led to another. And here I am. I'm in stores across the Southeast. And I have an online business and an art dealer and all that good stuff. And so here I am. And that is the short version of it. If you want to know more, I'll tell you more. But that's the short version of how I became an artist.
You know, as somebody in marketing, it does sound like you were able to build your business fairly quickly. I know that I have a lot of friends in the area where our museum is in Central Louisiana who are looking to grow their art as a business. Do you have any tips for them?
I have so many tips.
Good.
The number one thing you need to have is courage.
Yes.
Your art's probably in most cases is good. If you've been working and you've sold a few pieces and you get compliments, then your work is probably, okay. So, and if you're really concerned about that, go to some shop owners of some nice stores who sell art.
Yeah.
Look at the pieces there.
Yeah.
Are you painting things that are similar? Okay. Right. Because if you're not, chances are the shop owner is not going to be interested because they know their client and they know what their client wants. Okay. So, right. If you're painting buildings and trees and they have nothing but wild abstracts, they're probably not going to take your realistic pieces.
So this might not be the shop for you.
So you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Find your shop, right?
Find your niche. Okay. Yeah. So there are plenty of people who want to buy trees and landscapes and things like that. There is a market for that. But here's the deal. I am heavy into social media. I'm not afraid to show my face. And in this day and age, because I study marketing a lot, showing your face and connecting with the people on social media is really important. They want to know the artist behind the art. Okay. Yeah. They want to see you in your studio. They want to know about your process. They maybe want to know a little bit about your home life. Not that you have to have everything personal. I don't show a lot of my husband and stuff like that. I show my dogs more than I show him. But they just really want to know the artist behind the art. And so what I do is I use my Facebook and my Instagram mainly just to post the static pictures of my art. This is going to be a long conversation because I have so many tips on art marketing, but I know those of you who are artists are going to thank me so much for this.
Yes.
So I use my Facebook and my Instagram feeds mainly just to post my work. And I'll tell a little bit about the piece, but there's only so much you can say when you're doing a series of 20, right?
Right.
But then on my stories, I get a little more personal. You know, a lot of times I'm shooting my Instagram stories from my house, and I might be talking about some things that happened in the studio or thoughts that I have, or just I do a lot of comedy on my Instagram story, and that lets people get to know me.
Yeah, and I really just didn't know how to use the stories. So now I think that would be
Stories are bigger than feed.
really, because
People,
when I go on, I never look at anybody's story, but I guess that could just be my age. But other people are looking at stories, huh?
they look at stories more than they look at the feed, and you're really affected by the algorithm on the feed.
Okay. Not
If
on the
people
story.
if people are following you, they're going to want to look at you. They're going to want to see stories.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
That's interesting because I've often struggled with what's the point of the stories on Facebook and Instagram. But is so that's how they can be used, right?
They want to see you. If all you're doing is posting pictures of your work, people, you know how long this, it's about 3 to 6 seconds is the
Yep.
attention span someone has. So if you're just posting pictures of your art all the time and that's all you ever do, you're probably not going to grow. You're
Okay.
going to grow by two different ways. Letting them a little bit into your world and educating, giving value. So it's usually giving value or entertaining or letting them into your personal world a little bit. I implement all through it three, and I'm also huge on TikTok.
Tell me a little
Now,
bit about how you use TikTok.
okay, I'm a quarantine talker. I
Okay.
got on during quarantine. I actually had an account because I knew and had researched that it's the next big thing.
Yeah.
And so, and during quarantine, it exploded. What I decided to do, you only have 60 seconds on TikTok to film something. So you have to get straight to the point. So if you're not interesting, they scroll right by. So I decided I was going to provide value. So I actually teach on TikTok. I do quick little art tips. And it could be anything. I mean, this week, well, yesterday I varnished a painting and showed them how to varnish a painting. It could be how do I wire a painting. It could be I showed the tone on tone technique. I talk about a color wheel, just whatever. And there are a million topics, so it can go on and on and on. And I post regularly, daily. And I also, because I can't really teach painting in 1 minute, what I do is I try to go live once a week. And
Okay.
so the people who are engaged with me will tune in and they can see me do a whole painting. And when I say I'm big on TikTok, it's easy to be big on TikTok. I think I have about 6,000 followers, but that happened that's not a lot. Okay, it took me 2 years to grow my Instagram to 1,800 followers. I was in 6,000 followers in 2 months.
Okay. Okay. So how did you grow your Instagram that quickly?
Well, you have to stay engaged.
Okay. So
There
posting.
are lots of tricks to this, which I could
Okay.
do a whole
Okay.
training on that. But basically, you need to be engaged with other people. So one of the tricks you can do on Instagram is, and Instagram has a terrible algorithm. It's hard for anyone to grow. I
Okay.
mean, I grow about 2 or 3 followers a week on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm doing 100 a day on TikTok.
Wow. Okay. Well,
TikTok
it sounds like
is
okay.
exploding.
Artist friends. We got to get
You
on
have to get on
TikTok.
TikTok. Now look, let me tell you, people are afraid of TikTok because it's owned by China, but they just
Wow.
hired, and because there's been so much political discussion about China, and people have been afraid that TikTok's going to see all your information. Let me tell y'all, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, they
Yeah.
know everything about you. TikTok is the same. It's no different.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of it. There are all ages of people on TikTok. You have to, when you get an account, when you first start scrolling, because you want to look at information, you have to tell TikTok, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. So you can
Right.
press the not interested button.
Okay.
Because you're going to get things that you don't want to see because there's a broad range of things. So you have to tell TikTok what to send you. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, you have to decide what you're going to give that's valuable. People that grow on TikTok are people that are giving. They're giving.
Okay.
They're giving value. They're either entertaining or they're educating. And I do a little bit of both, but mainly I decided that this is where I wanted to give back to the community.
Okay.
So that's why I do TikTok. And then eventually my goal is to start a YouTube channel, which I already have a YouTube channel, but it just has 2 time lapses on it right now. Eventually, I'll have some courses filmed, and that my TikTokers can purchase those courses on YouTube. So see, integrating social media is free, guys. Y'all need to do it. Utilize it. Don't be afraid. Nobody cares if you have makeup on. I don't wear makeup all the time. I have a bandana around my head. I'm me. If you came to my studio, I want people to see me on camera the way they would see me if they came to see me during the day.
Yeah. I think that's really, be authentic. Yeah.
Authenticity is what people are looking for. They want to connect with you. They want to feel like they could come in and have a cup of coffee with you.
Yeah.
They call me, you know what they call me on TikTok? The art mom.
Aw, I love that. I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get on TikTok and find you. Are you under Claire Gowdy?
Claire Gowdy. Everything I do is under Claire Gowdy Art.
Okay.
But and my slogan is paint like a toddler.
Now, what do you mean by paint like a toddler, Claire?
What I mean is I want people to be free when they paint. I want you to harken back to a time where you could just scribble and scratch and have fun.
Yeah.
So my whole brand is paint like a toddler.
Oh, that speaks to my heart.
I have merchandise that's being made to put on my Etsy shop that says paint like a toddler and all that. So see, I'm using all these different integrations to build a brand. You see what I'm telling you? And it would take me hours to go into all of it. That's basically
No, we will definitely have to do something a little bit more in depth with you later. It's fascinating.
But let me say this in the beginning, in order to get your work in stores, if you want it there, you're going to have to approach a lot of people. And if you live in a small town, you're going to have to go outside of your town to have your work in enough places to where you're making money.
Right.
You can't just put your work into like 1 store or 2 stores and expect, because they're really only going to be selling 1 or 2 every now and then. Okay.
Right.
So the expectation, I think, sometimes is up here, but in reality, the way business works, it's down here. Sure. So you have to be seen. So that's always what I tell people. You have to be seen. You have to be in a lot of places, participate in your art festivals, show up at other people's art shows, make connections with people in the art world, approach stores. I just did a whole lot of that in the beginning. I just went to everybody I could think of and, will you sell my work?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Just or no. But to have an art business, you have to always be looking into the future. What are the trends? How does business work? The art world is pivoting right now, right? Do you see that? It's going more. It used to be, you had to have all this training and you had to have jury competitions and you had to be in galleries. Well, now everybody and their mama, like me, is painting.
Right.
We didn't go to school, which I don't knock school. My daughter has a degree from LSU. She's a sculpture major.
Wonderful.
My mother was a trained artist, so not knocking any of that. I'm just saying it's not necessarily necessary in all cases. And for me, I just attacked it from the marketing side.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there are no secrets. There's no secrets. There's no magic bullet.
No.
I tell people you have to be seen. You have to be everywhere.
There may not be secrets, but you just gave us some really, really good tips. I really appreciate that. I think that gave me a lot as an artist. So I think people are really going to appreciate that. Claire, I want to thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with us today?
I just want to tell all of you that you can do it. Don't expect to be discovered.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there all the time, and over time, you will gain the recognition that you need. If you're trying to cold turkey support yourself on art, you're probably going to have a hard time. It's good to have another job. I'm at the stage in my life, my husband works, and I can kind of do part-time, but you really setting yourself up for disappointment and failure if you think that you're just going to become this overnight success because your art is so good. I'm sorry, I hate to break that news, but I want you to be encouraged that if you just keep engage your social media, keep painting, or crafting or whatever you do, sculpture, whatever medium, do it all the time, show up all the time.
Show up. Show up and do
And
the
I
work.
believe in you. I
Oh,
believe
I
in you, the
believe it.
artist.
Thank you so much, Claire. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, this has been really lovely. Thank you so much, Claire, for joining us for AMoA's Art Together Tuesday. And we sure appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, and thank you. And all my media channels are at Claire Gowdy Art. I'm at Claire Gowdy Art on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Don't forget to tune in next week to learn how Claire makes her gorgeous paintings and much more.